Let's talk a little bit about the big picture for USA basketball. Last couple of Olympics that you were not a part of. Maybe the reputation wasn't the greatest in the world. This is a different team, isn't it?
It is a different team. I think it's a different attitude. I think it's, we understand the significance and the importance of representing our country. And I think that was something that was maybe missing on those past teams.
It was ugly to watch. It was terrible to be a part of.
And he kicked our ass.
I had a lot of concerns. That's why we recruited Kobe Bryant.
A lot of it really falls on me because I'm wiser of the guys that haven't been around for so many years. So most of the time I set the tone in practice.
I'd like to share a lesson I learned from him. It was 2008. The Redeem team was formed. And we were in Vegas for the start of training camp, and we were getting ready for the Olympics in Beijing. We're going to head to Beijing.
And this is when I knew Kobe was a monster, though. You hear about it, but you really, if you don't see it, you really, really don't know.
So 2008 Olympics was right after he and the Lakers got beat by the Celtics.
We were in the player lounge,
like playing cards.
There was 4 of us playing spades, and
he came in,
and there was a little wine.
Sat down, poured himself a glass.
And he saw this newspaper, and he saw a picture. It was something about the Lakers series and blah, blah, blah. And it was a picture of Paul Pierce celebrating.
And there was a picture of Paul Pierce.
So they had just lost to the Celtics in the finals, tragically.
And in a very, gut-wrenching way. If you remember, they blew a lead. It was not good.
But Kobe Bryant sits down and pours a glass of wine. We're like, what the fuck,
And he got very competitive with drinking the wine. And it was he didn't want to be behind anybody on these glasses. And we were like, Kobe, we got practice tomorrow. We're just sipping.
And I just remember watching Kobe just stir the pot the whole time. You know how Kobe does.
Nope. He was into this wine. I've had 3 glasses. You've only had 1. And I was like, that's because I'm small.
And he literally he didn't say a word. He didn't say anything, but we saw him take the paper. He started cutting out the Paul Pierce picture.
Ripped out this picture.
He folded it up and he put it in his pocket. And he was like,
it's motivation for next year, but dead ass serious. And we were like, okay.
And then he proceeded to chug his wine, pour another glass, chug it, pour the third. And he was basically he looks over and he's like, now I'm 1 ahead of you guys. We were like, okay.
And again, it was just this glimpse into how he worked, how he functioned.
I was like, oh, that's what, that's who he is. That's what this is.
This is who Kobe Bryant is.
It was funny.
We were in the Olympics, right?
Yeah, when we were starting to build a culture at USA Basketball, he, Chauncey Billups, and Jason Kidd were added to add veteran leadership.
Coach K did a great job of preparing us, of getting us ready.
Coach K, I really want to say Coach K led the charge on that one because he knew the moment and how serious it was.
But at the same time, we had the group of guys we had, you didn't have to really worry about that, with LeBron, with Kobe, with D-Wade.
Carmelo and, those guys who were great guys.
Me and Cole became very close.
The one that I'm closest to from the team. I look at him as a brother.
Bruh, he pulled me to the side in the Olympics and said, you're a bad motherfucker. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Because he knew what it was already. So for me as a young player, 4 years in the league at that time, is nothing, you want nothing more than somebody like that to come to me like, oh, you're a bad motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? That was respect. So when he did that, I knew it took a lot out of him to tell me some shit like that. Yeah. So I took that and I built on that.
And I thought the world of him prior to my experience with him, then playing with him, even more so. He just works extremely hard, competes.
But we became close on some disrespectful shit,
going at your neck.
He going at your neck, he's saying shit to you, elbowing you. I had my braids back then too, so he touching my hair. I'm like, y'all don't, what the fuck are you doing? Yo, don't touch my hair, you know what I'm saying? Don't touch me no more, dog.
Last summer he was the butt of a lot of jokes.
And he's smirking and he doing his little shit elbows. He come back elbow me, I come back elbow him.
He's gonna be physical with you, he's gonna try to wear you down.
He laughing, talking about that's all you got. You know what I'm saying? It was just
pushing your buttons.
Pushing my button to see if I was where I was gonna stand at.
I was just listening. I was just trying to soak everything up I could. You know, and I remember one thing that he said, he was like, if you want to try to be, you know, great at it or want to be one of the greats, you got to put the work in. You know, there's no substitution to work.
And so we get into a city, one of the cities very late, and immediately we all go to the gym. You know, all my guys, it's Melo, it's B, it's Brian, it's Kobe. Like, we all go to the gym, we all get our work in. It's real late. And so after we get done getting our work in, me and my guys, we say, hey, like, let's meet for breakfast in the morning.
And I wanted to establish myself as a young leader on the team by waking up bright and early.
Like, if you can't sleep, whoever first one wake up, hit us up, we're gonna go eat.
Day one. So the goal was to be the first one at breakfast.
And so we probably get like 3 hours of sleep. You can't sleep much when you're traveling across the world, you know, like we were traveling.
So I set my alarm. I make sure I'm up by sunrise. I get out of bed, I put on my gear, and I head downstairs.
And we probably get like 3 hours of sleep, and we wake up, we go down to where the food is. As we walking down, you know, slubbing with sleep in our eyes, Kobe Bryant is sitting there.
Kobe's already there with ice packs on his knees, drenched in sweat.
Right? So we walk up to Kobe, like, Kobe, what's up? And he was like, yeah, man, I just finished a workout, and I'm about to go do another one.
Now, it took me a minute to figure it out, but this guy wasn't only awake before me. He had already worked out.
And at that moment, I was like, wait, hold on. We just worked out about 3 hours ago. You know what I mean? And like, you've done another workout and you about to go do another one?
He was up every morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, getting a lift in, going to the gym, getting up shots, going to get breakfast, coming back for practice by himself every day, and then coming back at night to get shots up.
He had just played in the finals days earlier. Meanwhile, I'd been off for months and I was still exhausted. What he had done that morning was incomprehensible to me. That dedication he had only days after falling short of an NBA championship. That taught me something I've never forgotten. Legends aren't defined by their successes. They're defined by how they bounce back from their failures.
That's when I was like, okay, I gotta get my stuff together. I gotta get my shit together. Because this dude right here is on a whole different level than even I'm on, and I'm supposed to be great, right? So that's the kind of person he was, and that's how he drove me. You know what I mean? Like, just little stuff like that, I went back and said, okay, that means I gotta work hard and I gotta do more.
At the first week of training camp for the Olympics in 08, he was doing it by himself. By the second week, we had the whole team there.
Yeah, I mean, it's contagious.
And that was our regiment from the second week of training camp to get ready for the Olympics all the way until we got the gold medal and we beat Spain and China. That was the standard he wanted to lead. He wanted to make sure that we all achieved greatness. We put the work into it.
You know, when you see, you know, at the time he was probably, you know, him and LeBron are the best players in the world, you know, arguably. You know, it's kind of one of those battles, went back and forth at the time.
So it was two different things that you had to worry about. With LeBron, it was pick and roll after pick and roll after pick and roll. With Kobe, it was a matter of don't let him get to his sweet spots. He's going to beat you up for 3 quarters, and so in the fourth quarter, it'll be easier to get to his sweet spots.
So you needed crazy stamina.
You see this man, the work he's putting in, the hours he's putting in the gym, the extra shots he's getting up, you can't help it. Like, you're not going to go sit down on the sideline while he's still out here at 30. You know, see him doing that, and I'm 23 years old, you know. I got to get up there too, you know, and so it was great. It was great being able to work out with him, to learn from him, to talk to him, to pick his brain about things, and then have a chance to compete with him.
You're gonna see how hard he worked, how much he put into the game, how good he really is or was.
And so to be able to play with a guy who had everything offensively, who could have just demanded us to give him the ball every time down, was worried about defense in the Olympics. Come on, bro. What am I going to do? I'm going to follow suit and follow the leader. And so that was one of my favorite things when he came to me and he said that. Like, I didn't care about starting them. All I cared about was my moments when I got a chance to get on that court with Kobe, because I knew what it was going to go down. I'm sure he knew that, man, you know, I know this is tough for D-Wade not to be starting on this team. And Kobe came to me as he knew I was coming off the bench. He came to me right away and he eased my mind. He was like, listen, and he said, hey, D, when you get in a game and it's me and you on the floor, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick up the defender 94 feet. I'm going to harass him. I'm going to turn him. I'm going to turn him. I'm going to turn him. And once I turn him, you do what you do. You come and like shoot at him, you know what I mean? Like to come and trap or to come and get a steal.
you know, and so I got so many steals and so many dunks and so much because of the unselfishness of a star in our league.
For me, I looked at that. I'm like, I'm the younger guy. I'm the least accomplished guy in this group. I should be the one that you say. He should have told me, D, you go pressure, and I'm going to do that. But his mindset wasn't that way.
Grover, his trainer was talking about how he would just go on bike rides through the desert and just like really just work, like just do wild stuff just to get like his mentally prepared.
When Kobe was in the Olympics in 2008.
You took the role in 08 as a defensive stopper, and then if they need you towards the end, you would go out and close, especially in 08 against Spain.
Kobe right away said, I'll play defense. And in the first practice, he never took a shot.
All Kobe cared about was defense.
All of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. It's 2 days early, and it's Kobe. He said, Coach, can I talk to you for a minute? And I said, certainly. So we went to a private room, and I said, what do you need? He said, I need to ask you a favor. And I said, yeah, what is it? And he said, I want to guard the best perimeter player on every team that we play. Now, he's the NBA scoring champ. He's the best player in the league at that time.
He wanted to let everyone know that I'm here, and I want to guard the best offensive player every time.
We go and we have a team meeting. In the first practice, he doesn't take a shot. He does not take one shot.
Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K, was the coach, and he pulled Kobe and myself over, and he said,
so I call him over afterwards. I said, yo,
Kobe, you're actually going to have open shots.
Will you shoot the frickin' ball?
And Kobe said, I've been playing this game for I don't know how many years. I've never had an open shot. He goes, no, because with the talent that we have and the offense we're going to run, you're going to have open shots. So Kobe goes, well, where are my open shots going to be from? He said, mostly the corners.
That's something that I really took the challenge of, because
very rarely did he take shots from the corner.
And he smiled, he had that smile. And he said from then on, I was the only coach ever to ask him to shoot. And you know what he was doing, JJ? He had this vision of moments. He knew that for us to win the gold medal, we would have to beat Argentina, whether it be in a semis or the gold medal game. And that he wanted to guard Ginobili. Believe me, he already had that figured out. And he was going to prepare to guard Ginobili. It wasn't just to set an example for his team. He had that vision. Crazy.
So every single day from the moment the coach told him that, we would make 500, not miss, not take, we would make 500 jump shots from the corners. That's it. Let's not just make the shot because there's a lot of individuals that can make the shot. Let's enhance the focus. This is how the ball has to go in the hoop. This is how it has to come back to you. So those 500 shots weren't all the same every single time. That's mindset.
Fans, the defending world champions, we're both undefeated, and this is the game everybody was waiting to see.
¿Y de tu relación con Paul, your Paul's relationship?
We're like brothers. We're very, very close, and I'm very happy for him that he's playing well. I mean, we're very, very tight, so it's a little tough to compete against him.
Right before the game, Kobe came to see me when they came to visit the village. I remember that very clearly and vividly. My big brother came to see me with my teammates, which everyone was like, whoa, Kobe's in our apartment, how cool. And I believe, that might have been part of his strategy to kind of soften me up.
Now it's time for the United States to battle what many feel is their toughest foe in these Olympic Games, Spain. Both teams come in 3-0. They're the two best teams. They're the two gold medal hopefuls.
Kobe said he gonna set the tone to start the game. And he said, I'm running through Paul's fucking chest.
First play of the game, I'm running through Paul Gasol. We was like, what?
Man, you tripping. Man, that's your teammate. You tripping. You ain't about to do that.
He said, first play of the game, I know what they're gonna run, and he knew Powell's gonna be the last screen. And he said, I'm running through that motherfucker.
I swear, the first play of the game. We was like, holy shit.
He just went right into the middle of my chest, tried to get right through me to send a message, to not just to me, but to his teammates. Say, hey, this might be my brother. I play with him, we're close, but I don't care about anything else but winning.
I'm right there in front of him, it's like, wow.
Yo! He was like, no, he ain't my teammate right now. Fucking get up. I'm like, I love this energy. This is what we need.
It was like he did that to his teammate. Oh my God. It was like, oh, ain't no way. Ain't no way we losing this game. We about to beat the shit out of this man.
And so they look for me to really have that poise in those type of situations, not get rattled, not get flustered about it. It is what it is. And so just to kind of keep that composure was part of my job. When they cut it to 2 points, like 3 minutes to go, I was like, man, this is so much fun. You know, I remember wanting the ball in those situations, and once I made the shot, it just felt good. It was like, oh yeah, this is all right. I want to do it again. It's a different feeling than playing for your country. When you're playing in the NBA, you're playing for a particular city, a particular market. When you're playing for your country, those lines go away. We're all together. We're all playing for USA basketball. And it carries a great honor with it that goes above and beyond winning the NBA